Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim, my last day of work until maybe Saturday before I work again. It could be Friday. I forget. But I'm working on a Monday, which is a good thing because, they only got me doing these gigs on weekends to support my Social Security. But I was just going to say on that housing market, a lot of people are being foreclosed on right now because they are house poor. They bought these houses over the last couple of years with hardly anything down, and they did a survey that over 60-something% of the people are regretting they bought the house they're living in and saying that they should have waited or bought something different. So you got people in Florida and all over the country that are falling behind their payments because they're damn house poor. They can't afford these high interest rate payments. They hardly put anything down. They got no money to make home improvements or buy a lawnmower. They got high HOA fees, and they can just keep raising you. They have high property taxes. And if you live in Florida, you can't even afford the homeowner's insurance for the floods and hurricanes that we get here. Most of the insurance companies have left, and that only leaves a few that are all just raping people. I mean, it just takes all the fun out. And there's a chart I saw that, it used to be the cost of ownership and renting were like, right together. And with being owner, just under renting, which was obviously a better deal. If you could be cheaper to buy than to rent. But now the charts, if you look at them, you got renting here and ownership up here, cost. And so where's the advantage when the homes are actually depreciating in value ever so slightly, almost everywhere, in the fact that they're depreciating from their all-time high. When they went up 35% and they were at their all-time high a year or a year and a half ago, they're still above the pre-pandemic values. There's no question. But they're coming down. And that's not good either because they need to come down below, the pre-pandemic prices. They were already stupid. 350,000 was the average price. Now it's like $400,000, $425,000 at 7% interest. And we're never in our lifetime most likely going to ever see a 2% or 3% mortgage rate, 30-year fixed. Probably not going to see it. So anyway, the rents are also coming down because people are losing their jobs. They talk about the jobs market went up. Don't believe it. Those are Ubers and Instacart and product demonstrators and people doing part-time side hustle jobs that they're counting. The government is the news is so fake. This country is in a recession and people are struggling. The prices are high and they need to come down. There's no way it's sustainable. Most people don't make even 40 grand a year, much less 100 grand a year. And so you tell me how anybody can afford $1,800, $1,500 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. So, and the food costs, ridiculous. They're trying to sell cars. Guess what they're doing? They're saying, cars are now $500 under sticker. They're discounting them again. Yeah, big deal. $500 under sticker. I'm used to $5,000 off sticker. Now I'm being facetious, but at least a couple of grand, $3,000, depending on if it's an expensive car. Maybe if it's a Toyota Corolla, you got $1,000 off or $800 off back in the day, and that was a pretty good deal. But other cars, you get at least $2,500 discount. Remember? Well, now they're saying that they're offering $500 off. Well, it's a gimmick. Guess what they did? If you go look at any new car now, because they have more inventory than they did because, that chip shortage, they finally caught up to it, and they needed to make cars. People still need jobs at the manufacturer. So they're making these cars, but they're not flooding the car dealers with hundreds of cars where they have all this high dollar flooring fee that they pay every 30 days a car sits there on the lot. So what they do now is they have a limited inventory. They sell off a sheet, and they talk about giving you $500 off. But guess what the manufacturer did? They got in cahoots with the rip-off car dealers, and they raised the sticker prices $2,000. That's right. Compare an MSRP label 2 years ago to an MSRP label in the same car. Take a 4Runner, for example. You'll see. So now they have this tremendous profit margin, way higher than they did already have, of 25% to 35 or more percent on expensive cars. Then they give you $500 off. It's a big gimmick. It's a big shell game, So, and people are buying into it. I don't know where they get the money because the income hasn't gone up. People aren't paying people more money to offset these high interest rates and these high prices. I mean, a new car is 50, 60 grand. It's lots of changes. The bottom line is, folks, is we're seeing a tsunami. The tsunami comes in, but first the water goes way out. There's a delay, and then here it comes, right? And then it just keeps coming. And that's what you're going to see every quarter that passes for the rest of 2023 and all of 2024, at least the first half. Every quarter is going to be one bad news story after the other about the stock market going down, interest rates getting higher, unemployment going up. It will bring prices down because when people can't buy or aren't buying, they're going to discount. They're going to lower your rent. They're going to do what they can. They don't want things to sit there vacant. And these people that are holding out on their house because they think that they can get over list price, wake up. Who can afford that extraordinarily high inflated, overvalued price like 35% and a 7% mortgage? So if you want to sell your home, you better come down to earth and, drop your price to where somebody can afford it. Besides that, who's going to finance them when they're only making 50, 60 grand a year and the mortgage is going to be like $3,000 a month? I mean, what bank in their right mind? Well, I'll tell you what bank. The government is actually loaning money and doing mortgages for people with crap credit and only 1% down to put them in a house. And that's what they did back in 2008 before the housing crash. Remember, they just gave people houses if they could fog a mirror, if they had a pulse, they would approve them. Well, people remember that. So even though the government is offering that, you can Google it. You can get a house right now with 1% down and a crap credit score. But it's going to be an FHA loan. It's going to require all this insurance, and your payment's going to be super high. And so a lot of people aren't biting, though. They're not taking the bait because they remember. People are a little bit more educated now. People are not making their car payments. So don't believe half of what you hear, folks. Things are getting tight. And it's about damn time because things need to change. Come on. You want to live in this kind of a world where, an apple costs $5, a dozen eggs is $10, gas is $5. I'm being a little facetious, but really, I'm not far off the mark. Who can live like that? Especially broke dicks like me on Social Security out having to hand out coupons today for a mom saver. But I'm still crushing it.